Hi friends, thank you for joining me for the What Do People Notice About You? Orange, red, purple, blue. So if you chose orange, let's find out what people notice about you. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you are a returning offender, thank you so much for coming back. So my orange pile. What do people notice about you, please? Now, first thing when I was getting centered and meditating, I want to say, I'm gonna plug in my microphone. Do forgive. One moment, please. All right. So, actually getting centered and meditating. First thing that I did notice was a tower, and don't get scared about that. I want to explain it real quick. Is that what we notice about you is that you're going through a major transformational phase. I think that you could be going through a really tough time right now, but the real light of you is shining through. So I feel like you're leaving behind a lot of facades, a lot of people-pleasing kind of exterior, if you will, and you're becoming your more authentic self. And so what we're noticing about you is how powerful and how authentic and how you are actually stepping into that authenticity. And that's what we love about you. What else do we love? And what are we noticing about pile orange? Let's find out. The Knight of Wands. Things are happening quickly for you, that you're quick to act on your passion. Actually, look at all the orange smoke in the back and the sky, a reference to the pyramids. So I think that you're getting a lot of messages returning to your roots, because this guy is actually facing towards the left. And to me, the left is always, well, a lot of times the past. I think that you're headed that way, trying to dig out what brings out passion. Maybe you're doing a lot of things that you used to do once upon a time when you were younger, like hobbies and things that you just really enjoyed. And so what I think that's happening right now is that you are actually unveiling and revealing and returning back to those kind of roots, okay? Now I think, oh wow, that was interesting. I think that for some of you also that you are returning back to a past. For a lot of you, it's going to be ancestral, okay? Ancestral talents, like some of you guys are into naturopathic medicine, or some of you guys are starting to journey, starting to travel, things like that, starting to counsel other people. And I'm getting that a lot of you are actually returning back to nature and back to your roots, exploring. Like, for example, I'm from Puerto Rico, and we have a long history of Taino Indians, and so kind of exploring those kind of roots, whatever your personal roots are. And I think you're doing it with inspiration and great fire and drive. What else do we notice about you? Again, a lot of fire. You could be a fire sign. You have what's making you secure and what's making you feel at your best and shine at your best is what's affecting your root chakra, is all of that fire. So as long as you're pursuing your desires, we notice that when you're enthusiastic about things and really full of, like, I heard desire, but I don't mean it that way. Maybe spirit does, who knows? Filled with that intensity and that drive and that spark of newness, that's what we notice about you. Also, you could have like a really kind of like a pointy chin for some of you, or really big eyes as well, as what I'm seeing obviously by this character. And I think that you're very well poised as well, okay? And so, oh, look at that smoke. Okay, and I do feel a shifting from you. A lot of movement for you, my orange pile. What else do we notice about you? Your intensity. We love that you're intense, that you're focused, that you go after what you want, and you don't mess around. You're like, okay, let's do this, and you're ready to go. Let's just go, let's do, okay? What else do we notice about pile orange, please? Let's find out. The Magician. You have the ability to create. to bring into existence and manifest things that just simply are not there initially. You're inspecting, and so this could be ancestral lines, inspecting your genealogy, inspecting your life purpose, inspecting, because he's got a wand right here, what it is that you're really truly passionate about instead of what you've always done before, and making it a scientific composition in such a way that you really manifest and bring it to light into the new age, into the new day. And making it quite your own. So you could even have like really interesting glasses. You could have really interesting hobbies that you actually use. A lupa, what is that called? A magnifier. And those little glasses, like a jeweler's lens and things like that. So maybe perhaps some of you guys are jewelers, or some of you guys are like experimenting with doing jewelry and things like that. I love doing that, by the way. So it is a vibration of a number 1, and you're bringing all the elements, okay, together. So we notice that you're really excited. You get really excited about things, but you want to be really careful to have all the tools necessary to manifest, that you're not hasty. Because I feel like sometimes you could be viewed as being hasty somewhat. We're going to leave this guy right over here. Okay. Now, tell me about the Page of Wands. What is it that my orange pal is excited about and that we notice about you? Let's find out. The Seven of Pentacles. So actually, we do see here that you're not super quick. Maybe in the recent past, you're quick to rush into things, but you're also really balanced. You're looking at what is going to bring you the best bang for your buck, I heard, the most monetary value, the most wealth. But I think that you're looking at abundance quite differently than you have in the past. I think that perhaps you're even considering things like, you know, let's see how I can move this so you can actually see the cards. What can you barter so that perhaps things have more of a value and things like that. So you are considering all different angles. Nothing escapes your view, in spite of how people notice that you're really quick to pull the trigger. You have a lot of like knowledge and balance behind what you do a lot of the time. And again, I feel like references to gardening, growing your own vegetable garden, hydroponics, things like that could be of importance to you. Natural eating vegetarian, vegan, things like that, okay? What else do we notice about orange? Let's find out. The moon. So you're quite mysterious at times. So we notice you like rushing in and out, but I think that you do your homework in silence. You don't allow people to know what's going on in your head, and then you just, out of the blue, it seems, okay? You pull the trigger. So I think that people really underestimate you. We get to looking at things like that fire and that drive and what's going on. And we sort of miss that you've been in contemplation, really secretly exploring, thinking about things, but you're a powerful manifester. And I look at this like ribbon and look at how it is actually the road behind her. And so I feel like you're reconfiguring the ribbon to your life. And that's why you're actually even more careful than you ever have been in taking time to examine where it is that you're headed. And you're making sure that these things are going to be beneficial, that they're solid ground underneath your feet, okay? This is a reference to illusion. For sometimes madness. I heard madness. You know what? People can really view your hobbies or what it is that you're doing, because they don't really understand them, as a little bit of mad. So maybe have a little bit of madness in you. And frankly, I do too. Who cares, right? But look at the intensity of her gaze. She's not mad at all. People just don't understand her. People don't understand what's going on, how she's looking. And she can distinguish between the wolf and the coyote. I was with the wolf and the dog, and she could really tell which is friend and which is foe. And I think that that is something that you might be in the process of now. Now, I feel like, look at these little waves back here. I think that some people notice about you that sometimes you can actually vocalize some toxic things, and can't we all, right? So maybe you once in a while can surprise people and kind of spew something that they were kind of like, what the hell? Where did that come from? I can't believe he or she said that. And you know what? That's just real life. I feel like you're just being real about that. So I think that there's a lot of mystery to you, and people don't really understand you. And that's part of your draw. It's like when you pull the trigger, people are really intrigued and puzzled and drawn to you all at once. All right. And I do think that people are witnessing this grand transformation of you, transforming your surroundings, transforming yourself, transforming your inner core. And it's almost like when you break something open and reveal something incredibly brilliant that has been hidden, almost like a geode. If you crack it open, you're like, wow, nobody knew those crystals. Like, who knew those crystals would have been in there? And they're just so beautiful. And so that's part of what we are noticing about you. Now, this smoke is actually, I think, kind of weird. I want to show you. I don't have any fans on any different than before. So I think that sometimes you could be really airy. People can just really misunderstand that. I feel like you could be really living also in your mind a lot, or people underestimate or think that you're living in your mind quite a bit. Let's look some more. What else do we have for my orange pile, please? Let's get some clarification. Let's find out. Okay, so they see you struggling. They see you battling. They notice that things have not been easy, perhaps, for you, and that you are still in the fight. You're not giving up. You're willing to put in the elbow grease. You're willing to go toe-to-toe, even most of all with your own ideas, with your own notions, your sense of self. But secondly, you're willing to, once you grasp that, to do whatever it is that you want. You're not asking permission any longer. You're not asking for approval either. And I love that about you. And that's what we're noticing as well, by the way. People do notice that you are changing and becoming stronger. What else do we notice about orange pile? Let's find out. Yeah, that's what I said. Big, major transformation. Look, you are overcoming all the old, outmoded ways of thinking are actually dying away. You are really transforming your life, transforming your mind, and being really more receptive. You're no longer held in confines of what other people think, or what society thinks, or how things have been traditionally done. So you are really willing to put yourself out there and do what it is that you have to do to really become the new you. And I think that a big thing people are noticing is your social media. That is like really evolving, really changing, and really distinguishing you from who you were maybe like 3 months ago. I think that your interests and things like that, people are starting to notice that you are way more authentic. All right, this just flipped over for you. The Knight of Inspiration. Yes. Wand, all about wands, all about fire, all about movement. So you notice that you're not waiting around to ask for permission, waiting around for mandates to lift wherever you happen to be. You're not waiting around for anything like that. You are actually following your own intuition and your own path, and we love that about you. What else do we notice? What is this change in this death card, and why is this here, please? Let's find out. The world, cosmos, yes, you are changing everything. You notice that the world is changing, you are changing with it. And in fact, you're like 25 steps before everybody else, like ahead of time, basically. And so when people say that I see the sign of the times and things like that, well, I think that you've seen it way more than other people, and that's helped you to step into your power. You're seeing that things are outmoded, that whatever it is that has transpired before generationally is not working any longer, and you are here. I heard bust a move, so don't judge me, but you are here to really change that all up, first of all for yourself and then for the world. So you're seeing that cycles are ending, and you're not even, look at this, like, oh gosh, I knew this was gonna happen. You're not even messing around. You are, look at this person escaping the fire. Okay, so this horse is literally, his hair is like on flames or is created by flames, depending on how you look at it. And I think that this to me is like a symbol of independence. We like fireworks and things like that in the US is a sign of independence. And I think that a lot of what you are undergoing right now that we're looking at and noticing is you're finding your own independence, you're declaring your own independence, you're not dependent upon the things that we have seen before, and old images that we have tried to put you into a little box and make you follow these little rituals from routine. You're not doing that anymore, so good for you. Orange, what else do we notice? If I'm an orange pile, let's find out. You've got a lot of choices and options. You were up to something all the time. Look at all of this. All these rays, I think that you're getting divine communication, and we love that about you. I think that it just really shows as well that we notice about you that you have a lot of options and that you're really being careful about it. I don't think that usually, like the Seven of Cups, this is what this card traditionally is all about being confused, having too many options, or having the illusion of having options. But this is more about knowing that you actually have options and being in deep consideration. Careful consideration. You're not confused. You're just like, which one is going to be more beneficial? And we love that about you. How careful you are, how methodical you are, how you consider the whole picture when the rest of us are perhaps looking at like one little fishy. You're looking at all of them, even noticing how this little fishy kind of looks like a shark as well. So you're looking at what should I be cautious of and what do I go after? What else do we have? Okay, the Ten of Voices. So I feel like a lot of us have noticed as well that maybe you have been feeling or have been indeed like betrayed verbally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, some of you. I'm hearing kind of some gruesome detail, but some of you guys could even have been victim of like a stabbing. That's for like one of you. But how you're a survivor, regardless of what darkness that you had been through in your life, that you're allowing that to break you open and allowing the light to shine forth and bring through like the best parts of you that you never knew that you could survive. I think that you've also been through things that people go, I don't even know how you did it, and they're just really confounded when they hear your stories. Okay, and I don't think you just have one, by the way. Pal orange. I'm going to say pal number orange, but that'd be so awkward, right? Okay, so I want to get a couple of like physical attributes just because I can. And these are a little bit juicy cards, so I hope that nobody is super offended. What else do we notice about you? Casanova Tarot coming to the rescue to clarify what we notice about you. Let's find out. And you guys, if you don't like any images that are racy or questionable, then you might want to click off here. But orange, here we go. Let's find out. What are we just talking about? We're just talking about the Tower. You undergoing major transformation, okay? So it shows in every aspect of your life. What else do we have? Physical attributes, and also like what you put your faith in is being noticed as well. Okay, so we also notice that you are, for some of you, you could be very modest and very beautiful and understated. You might like to wear tones, colors that are like in the beiges and the naturals and the not too much pop. I think that you're really graceful. I think that you love to wear quality type clothing, not cheap, flashy stuff. It sounds really judgmental. But I think that you like to wear, you like rich clothing, things that really feel like soothing and even sexy and sensual, even though they're really, really modest, okay? So think about your thick fabrics, even something like this that feels like really posh, okay? It feels really bougie. Now, it doesn't mean that you're rich or anything, but you could be looked at as somebody who is very upscaled. I don't feel you're looked at as high maintenance either, but we notice just how beautiful you are and understated, and how you're willing to just work on you and not necessarily your physical image. You don't like really post all those like brazen selfies. You're just really understated, and we love that part about you as well. So what else do we love about, oh, and your beautiful butt. I'm gonna say some of you guys are really admired for your hair and your butts. So what else do we notice about Orange Pile? Let's find out. You know, you're really good arm candy. And so, and I don't mean that to be insulting, but I think that you have a higher mindset. You're more about quality over quantity, and you notice quality right away. You might even have a set of glasses in your home that are like really just beautiful and unusual and different. You might have an affinity for chandeliers, but you may also have like long, beautiful, luxurious, thick hair. You may just be very casual about the way you wear your hair, but because of the texture and the color, and you kind of like, quote, carelessly allow some of the hair to fall as it wants to, just naturally, it just really draws our eye to notice you. And so we kind of want you in that way. We want to be next to you. We want to be around you. We want to be seen with you. And we would love for other people to notice that you're with us. And so that's part of the attraction and the allure there. Let's grab a couple more cards. If you like this reading, please do smash that button. Is it okay to say that anymore? I don't know, but I just said it. Orange Pal, what do we notice about you? Let's find out. Oh, okay. So, yeah, maybe wearing a lot of white, like whites and creams and understated tones like that. Even the blacks that are like monochromatic is a word that I'm thinking. Even ombre, things that are like really subtle if you do color. And I think that we notice about you is just kind of a quiet mystery. Like you don't bring attention, you're not loud and brash, you just bring attention to yourself by naturally being the quality person that you are. And that's definitely noticed, okay? What else do we notice? Well, hopefully nobody gets offended. So we notice, first of all, I want to point out that the only one masked is this person right here. Like he's trying to be a little bit of a peeping Tom. And I think that people just really kind of go through your pictures, your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook. I think that if you don't have things locked down really tight, you could have people that stalk you, but not in a dangerous way. They're just really curious. They want to see more about you, and they notice maybe the curve of your neck, your décolleté. Is that how you say it? No, it's not, but I forget how to say it properly. And they're even interested. They want to know what your boobs look like. I mean, you know, it just happens. That's how it goes. And they're looking at your creamy skin, and they really kind of notice about you, even when you're eating. Sometimes maybe your lips, they could be looking at your lips a lot. They could be liking the way your teeth look and how sensual you are, even without like intending to. And I heard for some of you guys that some of you guys are pregnant and you just look so freaking hot. Like there's a glow about you and a gorgeousness that they're even shocked. And look, this person, some of you guys can even get the attention of people that are partnered, and that they're just even still kind of looking at you and kind of fantasizing about you. So that's what we notice about you. I hope that you did like this reading, and if you resonated, please do leave me a comment below as well. Please do share, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I hope that you have an incredible day in your corner of the world, and namaste. Thank you so much. Hi friends, my name is Griselle, and if you chose the smoke plume number 3, so the red smoke, this reading is for you. I want to thank you again for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you're a returning offender, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so we're here to explore, what do people notice about you? For those of you that, again, chose the red smoke, here we go. What do people notice about my red smoke pile? Let's find out. Six of Swords. People notice you moving on from them, moving on from other people, moving away from things that no longer serve you, making better decisions. I think people are understanding that they can't play with you anymore. That if it's no longer beneficial, if it's not edifying, if it's not gratifying, if it's not good or healthy, you are willing to leave. Let's see how we do this so that we're not messing up the smoke here. I'd like to keep that right there. Hopefully you can see that. All right, so that's the first thing that we're noticing about you. We're noticing that you're taking no prisoners. You're willing to cut your losses, and everybody else is as well. What else do we notice? Now, by the way, we notice also that you are looking at your security. So if it's something doesn't make you feel secure, doesn't make you feel safe, puts you too much into emotional turmoil, you're not putting up with it any longer. And you don't care what the level of threat is, okay? So you yourself could be triple threat. All right, what else do we notice about our red pile? Let's find out. The Three of Swords. So we notice that you've been through some right? You've been through some stuff, but we also notice that with your heartache, I feel like you've kind of built a memorial to commemorate that. You take it with you, you carry your pain with you, and it's not like all of us don't, but you almost kind of idolize it in a certain way. So it has a special place in your heart. This is like someone's hair, like a hair locket, old school style. For some of you guys, you will have no idea what I'm talking about, but look at the smoke here. Okay, I'm gonna say because of the smoke and the way it's kind of like veering, and yes, because of my card, I feel like it's when you do this, when you hold it close to your heart and you kind of like create a memorial for your pain and situations that cause you pain, that it causes you a lot of brain fog. It complicates things. It makes things a lot harder than perhaps people think it should be. Okay, and the responding flame here just jumped, so I'm going to say that that's a resounding yes. You can uncomplicate your life a little bit more by understanding and acknowledging that, yeah, excuse me, you've been through some pain, but it's helped shape you into who you are now, and try not to hold it so near and dear. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm feeling strongly. Let's move this guy here. I'm feeling strongly that someone has lost a child. So whether this child was lost before they were born, or it was a child that was fully grown or something like that, I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. But if you lost a child, I am so sorry. Like, I could totally understand holding that close to your heart, not being able to let that go. I get it. And that's almost a different circumstance. But what I feel like here is people see your pain and see your attachment to it in a lot of ways. yeah, if you lost a child, really my condolences. And there's no way that I think that I personally could not do this. And so I would definitely recommend for those of you therapy, and I'm sending you much love. There's not a lot I can say about that. That would just be absolutely devastating. I'm feeling like for the rest of you, most of you, that's not going to be your case. It's going to be things like, you know, people cause you heartache, heart pain, betrayal, things like that. And I'm going to say that this has really clouded your heart chakra. You could have a real heart chakra blockage, and it's tied to, it's affected, I should say, your root chakra. And I'm getting that flame jump again. And so I'm going to take that as a confirmation that people notice that you feel like insecure or unstable because of some heart issues that you still need to deal with. It doesn't make it a bad thing. It just makes it like you're tender as of right now anyways. So what else do we notice? What do people notice about you, please? For my pals, my beautiful red pal. You're quick to act, quick to cut things out. You want the truth, and nothing but the truth will suffice. I also feel like people want things from you a lot. I feel like people come at you sort of sideways and expect you to provide whatever it is that they think they're entitled to. And you're moving away from that. And people see that. But I think that people are really demanding of your time, of your energy, of your money. Some of you, your money. And this entitlement, I think that you're slowly taking back control and power. And that's how you're moving away, whether separating emotionally, separating mentally, spiritually, or physically, okay? That's going to help your flow better overall. What else do we notice about our red pal? Let's find out. We've got the Six of Cups right here. Take a look at this gorgeous card. What is this called? The Dark Mansion. The Dark Mansion Tarot. And so what I'm going to say is that there's a lot of memories, okay? You could be feeling nostalgic right now. And people know that you have a soft spot. Like if you grew up with them, and that continues to give me confirmation. If you grew up with somebody, if they're family, if you've known them your whole life type thing, or if you take them once, you take them as family, as your own, and you kind of develop a friendship or whatever with them, they know that you're going to have a special fondness, a tenderness, almost like, I keep hearing memorabilia. I can't even say that word. But they know that you are going to maybe feel a little bit like have a soft spot or nostalgic towards them. And sometimes I feel like they can really abuse that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. But I think that people think that they can actually just kind of use that to their advantage. And, you know, usury is just not, that is not just a nice thing at all. So I'm going to say that you're going to start being more discerning, and that's part of what this is. It's like you're starting to understand people that are really meant for you, that are good for you, that are going to be helpful and reciprocate like love or passion or put in equal effort, are not going to be taking advantage of you, right? I wonder, you might see me get burned literally, but yeah, that's still smoldering. Good job, Priscilla. But I want it to flame, so we're just going to double dip because I'm a little bit extra if you can't notice. Anyway, so good for you. Taking back your power, taking back control. I think also that people have used your passion, your desire in a lot of ways to manipulate it to be like kind of like theirs. So I feel like where you've allowed that behavior before, you're not going to allow it any longer. And I made a mess. That's lovely. Okay, so looking back at the past a little bit, just feeling that nostalgia, right? You're going to be moving away from that. You're going to start looking at people who reciprocate, who really help you grow as a person and help you emotionally and give back to you. So you're not going to be any longer giving these situations just out of sentimentality is my great point. I guess I could have started there, but here we are. So what else do we need to know? Okay, this is what we need to know. We've got a jumper. I was going to try to clarify the Three of Swords. I've got the Emperor. Okay, and so of course I'm getting flames jumping here left, and this is my subtle, my feminine side. This is the subconscious, and I feel like you could be feeling like someone is dogmatic, or this has control over you, or this has power over you, or the fact that maybe someone is just like controlling your life or attempting to control your life has caused you a lot of heartache, heart pain, things like that. Or you could, some of you guys can simply be saying, you know what, this heartache, heart pain controls me and I can't do anything about it. It really destabilizes my security, my foundation, my foundational system, my root chakra. And for those of you, if this resonates, I would look up root chakra on YouTube. There's a ton of free stuff to get you back into alignment and help you out there as well. Of course, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist. So, the Knight of Swords, why is this here? What do we notice about you? What do people notice about pile 2? Let's find out. Oh, I'm feeling this one too, so I'm just definitely going to pull it. Let's deal with the jumper first. You are the F out of there. Okay? You are all about action. The Knight of Swords. Clarified by the Knight of Wands. So you want clarity, you want action, fast movement, rapid movement, and that's what you desire, is just clarity. So you're not allowing your mind to be clouded any longer. You're not allowing things to take its emotional toll or sentimentality and like allow that to be used or keep you stuck. You're moving on, and we like that. What else do we like? You know what? The Knight of Inspiration. Let's talk about this card for just a moment. Why is this acting weird? Meow. Meow. Okay. So basically what I see right here, this reminds me a little bit of like the 4th of July, where we have the fireworks and things like that, and then we have the horse. To me, that's about freedom. So you're running for your freedom, you're escaping, you're running away. Some of you guys are actually, I heard, escaping from an abusive relationship that you were tied to for a long time, or you're trying to make your escape from an abusive relationship. This could be mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's no excuse for abuse. I know that things are really kind of especially tough for people in that situation right now because of global events and lockdowns and whatnot. And I'm just going to say that things are going to start flowing a little bit easier for you. I know it doesn't help in the now, but I hope that you can get away. See, the smoke is kind of like escaping even. And so you could be looking for a way out if that's you, looking for an escape, looking for things to, some of you guys, for things to go smoother, and it does, but then you know inevitably you're going to have to get away because it's toxic. Yeah, look at that smoke. And I just feel like everything's like winding. It's almost like a veil. I heard some of you guys are being gaslighting, that kind of a thing. I heard some of you guys are even, and this is really dark, but I'm just sharing what I'm getting. Sorry, just got a card that fell. Some of you guys even are being sexually abused by your spouses, your lovers, or whatever. And if that is the case, that's still not okay. Even if you're married or a partner, it doesn't make a difference. If no is no, it's a complete sentence. So I hope that you get the help that you need and you get out if that is the case. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. So I had this card jump out, and this is a Magician. Look at this, like, it's not water falling at all. This is just like all up in the air. Like nothing is smooth, everything's up in the air. My red pile is saying, let's see if we can get this more centered. Nope, I'm just gonna burn myself. And you could literally be feeling like I'm just gonna burn myself if I try getting out. Maybe you could look at this a little bit better. if you're in that situation, I really hope that you get the help that you need. And ooh, heavy. Okay, things are going to start to I heard slow slow down. Things are going to start to slow down, and you're going to be able to make your escape route. Just make sure that you keep your plans private. I know every situation is different, and please, there's a lot of programs out there. Get help. Get help if you can. Some of you guys even have to develop like code words to talk to family to let them know that you are in danger. Look at that. You can't make this up. I hope you can see this. Look at all the smoke and the way it's acting. Okay. Hope that is visible. I'm going to say that for those of you in red pile, you're feeling like you are a magician, but you cannot actually manifest. You have all the tools, but you, for whatever reason, can't manifest what you want to manifest. And so, yeah, it just all seems to go up in smoke. It doesn't go anywhere. You're feeling like there's a lack of control in your life, a lack of stability. And I'm feeling like you can't even speak your truth because of fear of control and manipulation. This is a case where some of you that I'm talking about that are in this abusive relationship type thing, you need to get the F out and quickly, okay? Because things we know like that do not get better. You need to basically just bail however you can. 9 of Voices right here. And so this is a 9 of Swords. You're up at night. You cannot sleep. You can't think. You can't. There's no peace for you. Here, this lady's trying to sleep, and it's just not happening. She is trying to hold on by a thin cord, just feeling very alone, very isolated, very, I'm going to say very sad, very like you could have nobody to talk to, or maybe some of you guys don't know who exactly you can trust. And you're fearful that if you were to express that you want to leave or something like that, that it will get leaked out back to this other person. For others of you, you are just not simply, but you're just exhausted trying to figure everything out. Maybe you're in the throes of like a physical move. Wow, that was really awkward. In the throes of physical move, right? But you're in like physically moving, and you're thinking about nostalgia, and you just can't really sleep. Maybe you're thinking about what you're leaving behind. And there's a lot of fondness for it, but you have a lot of stress on your plate, a lot of anxiety as well. Now, these are all coming up reversed. They jumped out, so I just took them. 3 Material, I feel like you think that you have no cooperation. And people are seeing that you are stressed out. Maybe you're like hiding it well, you think, but they could see that you just look more tired than usual, more exhausted, or maybe you're not as animated or communicative as you typically are. Like there's definitely a difference in change in behavior. People can see and notice that you feel stuck, okay? And also, these are not like good things. People notice and see and can sense that you're emotional, that you're feeling emotional, okay? So let's clear this up and let's find out what other things we notice about you, because I think this is a special case for maybe 1 or 2 people, but not for everybody, okay? So what else do we need to know? I'm going to take these out, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what else we notice about our piles number 3. 3, did I say 3? Sorry. Pile number 2, and that would be red, because I can count, I promise, most of the time. So what else do we notice about pile number 2? Red smoke. Let's find out. Here we go. You are a love full of emotion. You have a really, really big heart. You are in the middle of a transformational period. And I think that people understand that you pedestal emotional levels of connection. That came out really weird, but that you really understand the importance of like vibing and tribing and being together as one with like your soul family, your soul tribe. You could be actually saying some of you guys are in search of your soul tribe, okay? And that's what we notice about you. Let's see. So let's do some physical attributes here. And for those of you, I'm going to use my little one of my spicy decks. So if you're kind of offended by things that are a little bit risque, or you know, this is definitely for my 18 and over, not for the lighthearted. So you might want to consider not watching this part of it if you're offended by that, and I'm sorry. But that's what we're doing today, and this is going to be my Casanova Tarot. Gosh, Grisel. I'm just throwing everything everywhere. You're welcome. Okay, so let's find out my pile, for my pile number 2, my red plume people. For the red smoke, what do we notice? What do people notice about you, please? Let's find out. Look at you. I think that you're coming into your full power, that you are almost ready to be, well, you're emotionally ready to be completely yours. You're ready to be unveiled, like you're ready to be unwrapped. I heard almost like a Christmas tree, which makes no sense, but I think that you're ready to be seen for who you really are, that you've been hidden away for a really long time, whether it's by your design, somebody else's, or combination thereof. Okay, you're throwing off everything that hinders, and you are really exquisite and beautiful. They notice that you have really beautiful breasts. Maybe you have this divine white hair, or maybe you have like colored your hair unusually, and people are noticing that about you, and that you command presence even if you're sitting down. Like people, you might even sit different than other people, and it might be so unusual that people kind of look and go, wow, that's interesting, but in a beautiful, graceful way, not in an awkward, weird way. Okay, so this one kind of wants to come out. Oh, risque. Okay, so what people notice about you right off the bat, I feel like people really look at your butt quite a bit. You could have a really beautiful bottom. You could wear clothes that really accentuate your waist, that make your booty pop. You could definitely have like gorgeous hair that you like to wear up, or that they like to fantasize about you having your hair up, something like that. And of course, they really notice, I'm gonna say they notice your lips, because obviously this guy is like all about like self-gratification, and she is gratifying him. So I'm gonna say that they notice your lips, and they look at your lips and wonder what it would be like to feel your lips on them. That's one thing. Well, a couple of things that people notice. You could also like to wear like stockings, or like schoolgirl kind of vibe outfits, or you could like to wear really high boots or thigh-high boots, things like that. You could like to wear heels, and people notice your shoes. Maybe you have like a shoe collection. What else do people notice about our pile number 3? Pile red number 3. Okay, so I'm gonna say people have even people that you know that you would never think would be attracted to you, maybe like they would never think of you that way. Okay, but they do. Like they wear a mask, and it's like they really want to actually be with you. So I feel like a lot of you guys are really sexy, really sensual. And this doesn't mean like you're, you know, the model thin on TV or built like whatever it is that we see. It means that people like a variety of shapes and sizes and things to grab onto. And I feel like even if this is like people that you work with and things like that, like they secretly want to be with you. They would love to have you. They would love to spend time with you, but they definitely would never want to make it known. Perhaps this person is your boss. It could be someone like your spouse's friend or things like that. But a lot of people, I feel like, want to be with you, and they like your hair again, and they would love to see your breasts. And so they do notice like how your boobs look when you're, you know, in regular attire and things like that, and they just would love to be close to you. but they notice how your butt looks. Again, I'm thinking of like you have a great looking butt. And for some of you guys, you may think that you have big thighs, but people really like the way your thighs look, okay? So for pile number 3, what do we like about B? Why do I keep saying 3? Maybe there's something in there for the 3. But pile number 2, red. For our red pile, what do we like notice about our pile red here? Let's find out. They romanticize about you. You look like someone they would like to take a vacation with, to spend time with, to get to know intimately. They kind of, I feel like people notice you and think that you're just so alluring and smooth. I heard for some of you that they would just like to take you away, like run away with you, take you away and have some naughty time, that kind of a thing. Do people say that? No, they don't. Sorry. All right, so for red, what else do we notice about you? Okay, so I feel like people just really watch you look. I told you they look at your mouth. They look at your mouth and they think all sorts of stuff that they would like to do to you and with you. So you definitely bring out like the sauce. Just to bring out the sauce. You bring out the thoughts in people. And it doesn't matter where. The people can really look at you and be kind of obsessed with your chest, your décolleté, I can never say that, your cleavage basically, and of course your breasts and things like that. So they even think about how you pleasure yourself. They could be thinking things like that and fantasizing again about your mouth. They could be really obsessed with your eyes and your mouth and your boobs. Guys, I know you don't have boobs, so if you are a guy watching this, what we notice about you is your chest. We're looking at your pecs, we're looking at your lips, we're looking at your hair and how beautiful your upper body is. Okay, and last and final thoughts for my pile number 3. Let's find out. Okay, so very romantic. Like you actually bring out the romance in people, not the raunch. If you guys want like a reading, I'm going to title it Romance, not Raunch. Okay, raunchy. But you bring out that part of people that like they really want to see your hair up, they want to look at your neckline, they want to look at what your shoulders look like and touch your shoulders. I think that they're just a little bit obsessed with touching your skin, looking at your skin, but they have a lot of respect for you. And so that's what I have. If this reading resonated or you found it amusing or interesting, please do smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you guys have a lovely day or night, depending on where you're at. Namaste. Hi. Pile number 3. And this is going to be for my purple flame people. That sounded really weird, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you chose a pile number 3, purple smoke, we're going to talk about you. So what do we notice about our purple flame? Pile number 3, purple. Let's find out. 9 of Wands. We see you as a little bit defensive, a little bit spunky, a little bit spicy. A little bit like ready to protect. I'm like, I don't give 3 F's about anything. Come at me sideways and I'm defending myself, right? And so we do like that about you. We like that you're spunky, that you're willing to take a stand where a lot of people just are not, to be perfectly honest. What else do we notice about you? For pile number 3, purple. What do we notice about you? Let's find out. Four of Wands. Look, I feel like you are definitely someone who protects your family, protects your home. Not like most people don't. But I guess what I mean by that is you are not taking any prisoners. If someone comes at you sideways, you are really skilled at defending yourself. But I think that you have a really sweet romantic side to you as well that we notice. Look at here. Look here. Look here. So home can be very important to you, like your personal space and things like that. And when you welcome somebody into your home, you are very sweet and very different than this person right here. But it's going to take a minute for someone to try to break through those barriers. So you could just be really self-protective. You could have been through some ish, right, in your lifetime. Who hasn't been through some stuff? But I feel like you have been through some stuff that makes you kind of like defensive or even a little bit offensive. That's what it feels like initially until people get to know you. And once you welcome them into your personal space, whether you actually invite them home or not, is a little bit irrelevant. It's home is like where you are. And so if you allow people in your personal space, they actually see what a tender-hearted person you are, how loving you are, how giving you are, and how focused you are on like growth, like your personal growth, other people's growth, on taking care and tending your own garden and not really focusing on other people and what they're doing. You mind your own business and stay in your own lane because you have a lot going for you. Why would you care about other people's lanes, right? So for those that chose purple, the purple flames, what do we notice about you? Pile number 3, let's find out. The Queen of Cups. So whether you're male or female, you are somebody who you're divinely gifted, okay? I know that we're all gifted, but I'm feeling like there's a ton of green here. You have a really huge heart, and that's why you have to really protect yourself, because I feel like people think that they can just get all up in your business and try to kind of utilize that to their advantage, and you're not a fool. You're not messing around with that. I think that you're really astute, keen, and understanding on when people want something from you, and it puts you a little bit on the defensive. I'm kind of moving my camera so we can watch this smoke. It's not even trailing like the waterfall like it typically does. It's just kind of clogged right here. So you could feel a little bit of stagnant energy in your own life. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Feeling that stagnation. And in order to let it flow, you're going to have to let your defenses down just a little bit. I do think that you've done a good job of taking care of yourself, but I feel like your energy is evaporating because you're so defensive, okay? So there's a need to be defensive, but I want to urge you to kind of trust yourself a little bit more, because if someone comes at you crooked or sideways, you can definitely defend yourself. You know why? Because I have the Queen of Cups here, because you are very in tune with your intuition, with your psychic self, if you will, with your ability to kind of understand what people are really made of and what people want out of you. So I don't think that this person is just so defensive. I think that you, at your core level, you can see people for who they are and what motivates them, what they want from you. So you don't really have to be in this energy of let me be defensive, because once they try to make it come at you sideways, like you automatically know, this is bugging me, I'm sorry, and you can actually do something about it. So you're very skilled. So I want to say for pile number 3, trust your skills more. Okay, why am I playing with the smoke? Yeah, and I just feel like a lot of your energy is spent being self-protective, okay? People don't really know how sweet you are and how loving and generous your nature is. Look at how the smoke is flowing right now. How giving you are. I think that you try to put on a tough front, because I feel like you can be tough if you want, but look at that smoke escaping. And there's no like fans on or anything like that. And so I think that that's something that you, I heard you're a tough nut to crack. Okay, whatever that means. All right, moving on. I'm done. Sorry about that. And Yeah, preserve your energy by just really staying in the moment and um, and having that confidence that you can defend what's yours and yourself if you need to. What else do we need to know about people? What do people notice about pile 3? Let's find out. 6 of materials. So you could be quite abundant. You could be, I feel like you're self-made though. This wasn't just handed to you, given to you. I feel like people have perhaps used you for money in the past, and that's why you're a little bit defensive, or used your resources and abused them. I do feel like you are quite generous. People might not know that about you, or they might have that feeling, but you're really brittle to get beyond because, you know, you've been through some stuff. The wheel. So people see that you have the ability to stay centered. Now you see the more that you stay within the middle of this wheel as it turns, the more balanced you are. And I feel like people are noticing that you're even staying like more balanced than usual. You're reining in kind of these two energies to kind of coexist and balance together. I feel like your heart chakra is warming and opening. One thing that you can actually do, now that I just remember, I think Deepak Chopra, I can never say his name right, talks about this too. You could look him up on YouTube, and he actually takes his hand and you can't see, but he warms his chest over his heart chakra, and gets that just really nice and warm and just rubs it. And I know it sounds like really, really odd, but just this motion over your heart to kind of warm that up and get things flowing and open, and just really sit with it and think, okay, heart, like, what do I want? What do I feel about this? And enabling that heart chakra to stay open, and not feel like you have to be so defensive. So what else do we notice? Keep in mind everything has a cycle, and they've seen you go through a lot of cycles. People have, probably people that have been really close to you or worked with you for a long time as well. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know about how we notice? Pile number 3, purple flame. Let's find out. I just realized I use the word flame and smoke interchangeably. It's actually purple smoke. But one thing I want to kind of revert to is I keep saying purple flame, so there might be something about Saint Germain and the purple flame in there for you. You can look that up as well, and that is all about like your it's a form of like self-protection, and you know, I don't know a ton about it. It's been a while since I read about it, but the Saint Germain purple flame, the divine purple flame, could be of something to you, can mean something to you. Okay, moving on. So the Ace of Inspiration. Okay, so now we have like the wands. I think you have a lot of fire in you as well. And we notice, I feel like this just goes over here. And we're noticing that you are developing and opening up more to your creative powers, that you're using what you're passionate about, what you're excited about. Notice the green, your heart chakra. And that is on your mind. How can I grow my business? How can I use what inspires me for more potential growth? And you're focused on utilizing those things to create abundance. And this doesn't have to be money abundant. This could be like, how do I make my own garden become like self-sufficient with the vegetables that I grow and the whatever, things like that, okay? What else do we need to know about this pile number 3? What do we notice about pile number 3? Let's find out. Woohoo! Look at this. Look, bam, bam. Same card, people. So I'm just going to say that we notice, first of all, your third eye and your crown chakra is popping. Like, you are on point. You could be getting downloads and messages that are psychic. You could be like, your brain's on fire with ideas and growth and bloom. And we notice that you have a lot of emotion, but it's like not emotional. I think especially in the West, we tend to tout, you know, like, let's be more stoic and not as emotional and whatever. But this is like, emotion, things that cause you to feel good, to feel in the juice of life. That's not even a thing, but I just made it a thing. That cause you to really speak your truth and open up your creativity. It's helped open up your third eye and your crown chakra. So you're getting messages and downloads. And I think that you're looking at networking. We notice you reaching out to people, or the people reaching out to you, networking, wanting to network, wanting to be a part of you somehow, your business, your ideas, your notions. Some of you guys are creators. You could have your own YouTube channels. You could be really diving deep within yourself and pulling out the things that you never thought you would share with the world. And it's caused your brain to just really ignite with joy and with happiness and with creativity, using your intuition to really navigate these waters, to really understand what kind of fish you're dealing with, in other words. And some of you guys can also be clairaudient. You could really hear your own messages from spirit. And I feel like some of the people around you, I don't want to say it spooks them, but I think that because you're so in tune, I would not be surprised if you have some telepathic abilities to where people go, how did he or she know that I was thinking that? Or they were saying what I was thinking, things like that. So you have the ability to kind of almost like get in it. Yeah, definitely get into people's heads. And because of that, I think that could be a little bit intimidating. Like you could say something and people around you are used to saying, I was just thinking about that, or whatever. And that could be a little bit spooky at times. So, or it could be really fun for the rest of us, depending on where you're coming from, right? So for my pile number 3, what do we notice about the purple? 5 of Voices. So we have the 5 of Swords. I feel like this is more your past. This could be like, this is what made you into a tough bunny. Why did I hear tough bunny? Is that a thing? This has made you into a really tough person, because I feel like you're getting centered, trying to meditate and navigate through people that are just really always wanting to grab or dangle things just beyond your reach to use and manipulate you. I think that these people have been really fake. I think about those of us that use a lot of like makeup or contouring or whatever. People have not been their authentic self with you. They have just kind of used to get what they want, and it's really caused you to be really self-protective. And I think that people see that. People see that you've been hurt quite a bit in this way, because you are really heart chakra centered, and I've actually never seen another reading like this before. So I think that's really, really cool. Not that you've been hurt or used, obviously, but it's really cool to see someone who is so present in their heart chakra. So I love that about you as well. Okay, and then we're going to do one last card here. What else do we notice about our purple pal before we get into the juicy reading? Let's find out. The Emperor. So you're viewed as someone who has full control and dominion over your own life, that you, I heard for some of you, you don't give an F about anything, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think it's more that you're going to do what makes you feel secure, and if someone makes you feel threatened or questionable, you're going to follow your intuition. We know that about you, okay? If they don't come with the same vibe and they're not the same tribe as you, you're not messing with that. You're going to put that away. Yep. And your dancing, music could be really important to you, and you could be very poised, and maybe you like to perform or even dance, okay? And that's for our purple pal number 3. So let's get into the juicy juice. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and move some cards so we can actually focus a little bit clearer on these. And with these cards, they're a little bit saucy. It's don't judge my beatable box here, but Casanova Tarot. And we're going to be reading from this deck next. And so it does have imagery that might be offensive to some. That is my disclaimer. This is for 18 years and up. If you are not 18, and up, or easily offended, please do click off. I send you with much love. I want to thank you for joining me. For the rest of us that don't mind a little bit of smut, so hope you are with me. And by the way, if you do like my readings, please do smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Alrighty. So I'd like to know for my third pile, my purple smoke. What do people notice about you? Let's find out. This card is coming out quite a bit. Okay, so people think that you are mighty fine, mighty fancy. They want to wine and dine and romance you. Like when they think about you, they think romantic thoughts, not necessarily like right off the bat like sexy. They think about taking you out to dinner or having special time with you. They think about your hair, whether you're male or female. They think about your shoulders. They look at like, wow, if you're a guy, wow, he has really nice shoulders. I wonder, you know, what he looks like with the shirt off, that kind of a thing. And if you're a female, it's like, wow, she's got beautiful, graceful shoulders. I like her neckline. I'd love to see her boobs, that kind of a thing. But they really think about what it would be like to take you to dinner, what kind of conversations you'd have. So you evoke more of a romantic vibe for people as well. What else do we notice about our pal number 3? Let's find out. All right. So what we notice about you is, first of all, we think that, I heard for some of you like to get down and dirty. Okay, so that's for some of you. I hope you don't get offended, but what I'm hearing is that they think and they notice about you is that you kind of put on not a facade, but, and not like your goody two shoes, but they think that you, I heard dirty diva. You can't make this up, you guys. You could be a dirty diva in the sheets. And what they notice about you is just how beautiful you are. And they think that you would be kind of a freak, okay, as well, once they crack that shell. So they could have also a foot fetish. They could be looking at your pictures. If you have pictures where you're barefoot on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, any social forum, or if they come over, they could be looking at your feet secretly. And that's one thing that we notice about you. What else do we notice about our pal number 3? You could have really nice feet. Let's find out. And guys could have really nice feet too. I've only seen like maybe 1 or 2, but you can. I'm like, no shade, but that sounded totally shade. Okay, so, oh, interesting. Okay, so people notice about you is that you have money, that you know how to take care of it, that you're tightly controlled with your money as well. Like they know. They know that you don't just throw money around. But also what they notice about you is that you could have a really small waist, that you have a beautiful butt, that they'd like to see your butt. They'd like to see you in like thigh highs and things like that. And they notice just how poised you are. And look at these really beautiful, I'm all chest bones. Oh my God, Grace, I'll get a grip. Okay, but anyways, you could just look. You can't make this up. I didn't even notice that. Look at, what do you think they notice about you? Okay, you don't need to be a psychic to interpret these cards. But they could be looking at you and seeing that, I feel like you are still viewed as very, very classy. Like they look at you and they're like, wow, this person has class and ass. Woo. What is there not to like, right? You could have long, beautiful hair. You could wear extensions. You could have like a creative way of wearing your hair too. But nothing but class, baby. What else do we notice? Look. So, yeah, we're just going to leave that right there. I mean, self-explanatory. That's what we notice about you. So there's a lot of curiosity about that. And you know what's interesting about this image even is like they're not willing to look in the mirror to think, okay, am I really having these thoughts? It's just like it just kind of happens. And then they kind of catch themselves, but they don't really contemplate a lot about who am I in your world that I'm noticing or having these like thoughts and fantasies about you. Because if they did, they probably would not. They'd try to want to reel it in. Some of them anyways. Okay, so what else do we notice about our purple pal? Let's find out. Okay, and they think about basically how you come across as you don't need anybody. Like you can kind of take care of all of your own needs, including your sexual needs. And so they like that about you because they feel like they can bring something different to the table that you cannot do for yourself. And but they like the fact that you're like independent. You're like, I don't need you. And they think, oh yeah, you do need me. That kind of a thing. Look, you can't make it up. It's all booty shots. Look, they're all looking and lurking, trying to see what your butt looks like on social media, looking at how your clothes fall on you, and look, your feet, looking at your feet, thinking how beautiful your toes are, your heel, your ankles are like hot to them. So all sorts of fun stuff here. And they like the idea that they can peep into your world. Like, I feel like you have people like looking at you secretly. And frankly, like everything that we put on social media, obviously it's just a free game. It's open. But they like the idea that they can lurk and just look and enjoy you without the cost of them coming forward, okay, for a lot of people. And I feel like it's because maybe their own circumstances or because you might be intimidating, or they might be partnered already and it's just not a reality. So you're like their fantasy girl, fantasy guy type thing. Look, yeah. And so when they're with other people, they could be thinking about you and what they'd like to do with you. And they would love, some people are into the smothering. I don't judge. We are sexually open to whatever. That's your thing, that's your life. But some people are looking at you and wondering, I wonder what it would be like if she would sit on me or he would sit on me or something like that. So basically, they just want to eat you up. So purple pile. I didn't know this was going to turn into like a dirty read, but here we are. Here we are. Yep. And so they would like to actually come towards you, no pun intended, but they would actually like to visit you and kind of keep their clothes on while have you in a vulnerable state, like having you unclothed. Just they want to kind of feel a little bit of that power. They want to feel that masculinity, even if it's the same sex. They want to feel like they can control you, like you're a little bit out of control. And what they notice about you is that you're so hot that they just want to take your clothes off, basically. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yep. So what else do we notice about pile number 3? Let's find out. And again, a state of undress. They would like to do bad things to you, naughty things to you. Even with your clothes on, maybe even in public places. This would to me imply even wanting to have like sex with you and they're not supposed to, you know, like if you are in a friendship or complicationship or whatever and their friend like likes you or whatever, but they definitely have thoughts about you. And so we think about you in a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways. And they're looking for a way to bridge in that gap. So you can take that however you will. And pile number 3, that's what I have for today. Okay. So thank you for sticking around. Again, smash like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your pile was and all of that fun stuff. Namaste. Hi, pile number 4. So here we go. For those of you that chose the blue smoke, what do we notice about you? What do we notice about pile blue? Let's find out. Eight of Pentacles. We notice that you work and toil hard. You work hard and you play hard. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. Excuse me. We notice that you might be multi-skilled, multi-talented. I almost see these as like easels. And then we've got almost like some kind of a mill wheel here. I don't know what that is. But anyways, you have a lot of different cogs going on. We may not understand what it is that you're building or making, but we know that you toil and labor and you're not afraid, again, of hard work. And we love that about you. I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. You might have a little bit of a hard time expressing yourself. Maybe the way you express love is by working hard and not really necessarily with your words, like verbal or physical, but what you provide for those that love you and vice versa. What else do we notice? Let's see if we can get the smoke to move. Kind of fascinating. All right. What else do we notice about you? Let's find out. Page of Swords. You are super smart, super intelligent, no holds barred. You can also have a child who is very intelligent as well. But I think that you could even have big eyes. You could have short, spunky hair. Whatever that means to you. You could have a really narrow waist. You could be highly decorated, highly admired, highly sought after because you are such a hard worker. I think that you do everything wholeheartedly. You jump in, and we notice that you don't do anything half-assed. If you like somebody, you like them. If you you know, take on a task or a project, you're just going to do it until it's completed, and you'll do it well. So I think that people notice that you're really trustworthy, reliable, and focused. You could be a little bit AD, like hyper-focused. I don't know what that would be called. Obsessive focused. What else do we notice about pile number 4? I bent this card, darn it. Yep, clarity. So you're somebody who is really kind of to the point. That you have the ability to cut through the quick, cut through the BS, see, I guess, every side of things, but cut through any confusion that might arise. We see that you, excuse me, are someone who really values their intellectual prowess. Why do I talk like that? I don't know. You really value the things that you can do with your mind. You hold that in really high esteem. I think you're really well spoken. You have a really good vocabulary. We notice that about you. We also notice that you could be a little bit sharp, like cut through the quick, a little bit, even without noticing that you can say stuff inadvertently that can sting other people. Okay, so what else do we notice about you? Let's find out. You are fiery. So if you have a desire for something, you go after it. You are single focused. Like, you're just going to be like, I don't care what it takes. I'll take control and let's do it. Look at all this action. You're like very action oriented, very physical. You could like working out. What else do we notice about you? I think that a lot of what you do is a mystery, though. It's a little bit secretive, a little bit undercover brother, a little bit, I'm not sure what's going on with you. Like, we're curious about you. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, blue pile? Let's find out. Looking for justice, are we? So maybe you are a judge, maybe you work in the legal field, legal system, maybe you're involved in something legally. Like we see, regardless if this is your real true profession or not, we see that you actually are someone who's very fair, okay, very balanced, but you cut through the mess. You don't take no prisoners. You're gonna look and see what's fair, and then you will be like, so mote it be. It's gonna be this way, and that's how it's gonna be. You don't like anything that's out of balance. So for our pile number 4, blue, I think your mind could be a little bit scattered sometimes. You could maybe have issues with clutter, or even just a cluttered mind. What else do we notice about our pile number 4? Let's find out. The 4 of Swords. So we notice that you've kind of taken a time out, a rest, a respite, time away from maybe social media, time away from spending with loved ones, or whatever it is that people are looking at with you. I feel like it is your time to recover. So perhaps you've had an illness, and if so, I hope for you to have a speedy recovery. But I also think that, you know, this could be like a vacation, a staycation. I feel like a lot of you getting the left side of my face kind of telling me that this is somebody recovering. So you could have had like something going on with your heart or whatever. But regardless, I feel like a lot of you guys are recovering from an illness or an injury that has made you like rest inadvertently. Like maybe you didn't really want to rest or plan for it, but it is how it is, and you need to take some time out from your usual MO, your usual way of doing things, and you are in rest mode. Okay, rest and respite. It can make you feel a little bit sad, like you're used to doing. I don't think that you like to slow down. I don't think that you like to take any time out to reflect, to really think about things. But it's going to be really important right now, even if it's a physical thing that you're recovering from, or a mental fatigue, or spiritual, or just simply a vacation to enjoy yourself. It's going to be important to take that time out to go ahead and allow for mental, emotional, spiritual healing, and physical. What? I just happen to flip this around. What do we notice about you? Well, you are super cute. I think we notice about you is you might be a little bit like what people consider on the geeky side. I like that personally. We notice about you is that your hair might be a little bit different. We notice that you have really kind, sweet eyes. When you do look up, I don't think that you really tend to give a lot of people the time of the day for some reason. For some of you, not all of you. But if you notice, he's riveted. His eyes are on her, like a mutual rivetation. I'm making up words as we go along here. And so this could indicate like love, companionship. Like you, when you look at someone, you really look and see them for who they are, okay? And it could be tempting for you. Like the apple is on top of his head, and we all know what happened with the apple. He's wanting to bite from the forbidden fruit, right? So I feel like there could be something going on with your heart chakra. This even flower looks like a little spinny thing almost. So it could be that your heart spins around a little bit when they encounter you, or vice versa. And they could feel and sense that you have things on your mind, but that you're not totally sharing. Like he's just like, yeah, let's just share a cup and drink. And she's like, okay. But he's like, well, let's share a little bit more than that. So he's got the apple above his head, thinking about things, but also growth could be on your mind. So if you're not partnered, this could be saying that, you know, we realize that when you look at us, sometimes you don't express fully what you're thinking. And I mean, I guess who does really, but that you hold back, and it's quite a beautiful apple. Like he has something really on his mind that's really tempting and alluring. And it just so happens to match the color of her dress. And so this could be saying that we notice that you, when you look at another person, you look for security first. Are they stable? Are they secure? Are they just focused and as riveted on you as you are on them? Because otherwise you're moving on. You're not messing with that. And that's part of what the apple is, right? You want to make sure that this person only has eyes for you, because I feel like you're very kind and you're very giving and generous. And this could be unisex, same sex, different sex, no sex. I don't even care. But you get the vibes that I'm trying to put out there, right? So pile 4, I think it's really sweet. I love it. What do we notice about you? Let's find out. The Chariot. These two came out, and the Fool. So you want to actually take a chance. We notice that you're kind of like ready to move, make a move. You're ready to make a move almost and take a chance. And you don't care if maybe even at this point you look like a fool. And by the way, that's only how you are maybe feeling. I don't think that anyone looks at you and thinks that way, but I think that you're just a little bit like self-conscious or whatever. And you could feel like, okay, well, what if I look like a fool if I move towards him, towards her, whatever the case may be. And it's not a fact. This is actually, in fact, just taking a chance. Like, let me just move forward and kind of see what happens, and taking a chance. Like, we don't know what we don't know. So if we don't take a chance, how are we ever going to know? Yeah. So this person is being held back by a little loyal dog saying, kind of watch your step. I'm looking after you, that kind of a thing. So I feel like you could have a little bit of a caution in you. Like, I want to take a chance. I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to step off a cliff, but I want to kind of go at it hard and fast by the same token. Okay. And so for you to be in this like Four of Swords, a little bit like contemplating or resting or recovering from something, it is a very different energy from what you're accustomed to, by the way. And I don't think that you're a hasty person. People notice that you're really cool, calculated, methodical, but once you make up your mind and you head a certain direction, you're headed there with certainty. Now, I think what's holding you back and what's kind of evident is that you're not really sure. Like, you want a sure thing. You don't want something like, oh crap, I just, this isn't good or whatever. But sometimes we just need to take chances and be okay with that. Like, if we get too much in our heads, oh, look at that. So this jumped out. So I have the King. Oh, hey. Okay, another jumper. Sorry, hold on. So what I'm gonna say is, for this pile, it doesn't have to be, but I feel like a lot of you are actually guys. And if not, then you have a lot of that male energy. So keep in mind, we all have, duality to us. So we have the feminine and the masculine. So what I'm going to say about this is that, you're ready to kind of offer your cup, but you've kind of been, you're someone who gives from the heart to begin with. You put your whole heart into it. You don't kind of mess around. You're like, this is what it is. Move on, that kind of a thing. But you are kind of keeping your emotions in check, and you want to progress forward. Now look at like this little, I don't know if you can see, kind of smoke, or it looks a little, to me it's almost like you're getting messages from heaven and getting ready to drink those, and messages from the divine. So that's what I'm getting here. And I think that you are someone that you're typically heart-centered and willing to make an offer, that kind of a thing. Maybe with this one, I wasn't thinking even relationship, like as far as the readings go, but I feel like this is more of those of you that are interested in getting a relationship. Now, this kind of jumped out, and this is the Queen of Wands. I love this card. Queen of Wands is typically my card to represent myself anyways, in my head, my ego, that kind of a thing. But Queen of Wands is coming out upside down. So you could be viewing this person, if you're looking at them romantically, as somebody who is not in her full power, or his power. They have the sun. They have a lot of potential, a lot of drive. They're very beautiful, alluring. They are queenly, but they're not going anywhere. It's like they're stuck, or they're not moving forward, or they're not accepting your offer. Something about this queen is like almost like in her head, because she's on top of her head like that. So it could be, again, male, female, same sex, I don't care, whatever. But whoever it is that you are looking at, you could be viewing them as they're not in their best energy right now. Okay. What else do we have? What do we notice about you? We notice that you're careful, that you proceed with caution, that you're actually a very good lover, I heard. A love bug. What else do we notice about you? Well, number 4. The devil. So you could have some obsession. I don't even know if this would be noticeable, but okay, we're going to go there. So we notice that you could be obsessive, like obsessive thinking. You could have things that, some fears or thoughts. This even looks like somebody putting their finger up to their mouth and saying, shh, like don't talk about that. But you could be thinking about things in an obsessive manner that kind of hinders you in your relationships. You could have a little bit of OCD. For others of you, maybe high functioning autism, or I don't know, just a general like ease of communicating your feelings or emotions, and that can keep you in a cycle of feeling trapped, of feeling like I don't know what to do. Kind of a cycle perpetuates another, okay? And so you really want to get out of that like obsessive thinking or that cycle. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to move that up because when I put them away, I don't want them reversed. I used to read them always reversed or upside or whatever. Look at that. Communication, I just happened to glance down. And now I try to read them all straight. But whatever. Okay, so we have, what we notice about you is you are a great communicator. Like when you want to be, when you decide to be, when you release yourself from the devil and stop being trapped in your own mind, and just start, communicating like your truth. This is someone that actually, she speaks her truth, and she's got her bag in hand and she's willing to go. Then she's got this little spooked cat with her. So your intuition is saying something. And I think that you should let that communication fly. This could be a barrage of communication, a lot of text messaging, a lot of emailing, you could also be viewed as somebody who loves to communicate, actually. So when you get focused, you love to communicate, you love to text, email, even just talk, things like that. And sometimes like those conversations, you could be viewed as like you hang on for dear life. Like if somebody says something, it stays with you for a long time. You could hang on to those words for dear life. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what else do we notice about our pile number 4? Pile number 4, our blue flame. What do we notice about you? Let's find out. 3 of inspiration. Inspiration in this deck is wands. Okay. So I feel like you are looking at crossing over a portal, like making a move, taking a chance, crossing over into something completely different. And I feel like you're thinking, is this domino effect going to be a good one? Is it going to be a bad one? Is it going to be the kind of domino effect that I want? So once you open up the lines of communication, are things going to go well, basically? That kind of thing. Am I going to get cooperation? I've been waiting for a long time. So Yeah, so this waiting game can put you into, and maybe that's what this was about also, is perhaps some of you guys are not being sick or anything, but there was a lack of communication. And so we noticed that you're like holding back. We noticed that you like all of your ducks lined up, or all of your dominoes lined up prior to you making any move. And so you're kind of sitting with that and deciding, is that beneficial to me? Is it realistic? Is it going to be reciprocated? Is the energy going to be compatible after all that work? And so I get the whole thing of overthinking, because I'm the queen of overthinkers. Yeah. But I feel like, look, I think things are going to go well, because there's a lot of dark background. This one is just busting out full into, I'm going to communicate my truth. There's a lot of white here. I think that things are going to go well if you happen to do that. Okay? Whatever your truth is, even if things don't go exactly how you think they should go or you want them to go, you're going to feel a release and a relief of maybe not knowing or obsessing or whatever. Okay? What else do we need to know? What do we notice about our pile number 4? Our blue flame. Let's find out. The Knight of Emotions. So I think that we notice that you are someone who can be in your emotions. I love these cards. They're so beautiful. You could be wanting to bring messages of like love, of joy, of peace, of communication. I see a little heart right here. A lot of heart chakra communication. And I think that you want to bring this in quickly, like a lot of communication once again. Communication of an emotional level. You could be feeling like there's a lot of schools of thought out there of different ways of doing things, but I feel like you're listening to your inner dialogue. You're also listening, I feel like for some of you, to your ancestors, and I think that's really beautiful. In fact, I kind of want this here. So ammonite is a crystal that can really help you get in touch with your ancestors, and I like that as well for you, if that is a thing with you at all. So what else do we notice about our pile number 4? Pile 4, let's find out. You've got a lot of options. We know you have options. It's not like there's no way that anyone is looking at you and saying that person is desperate. We know that you have a lot of choices to make. You may have like 7 different people that you might be interested in looking at, or 7 different situations, if it's work, or 7 different options and job proposals, whatever the case may be. But we notice that you take your time in really analyzing and thinking things through before you kind of throw in your lot with anyone or try to jump into any situation. So you take your time, you try to go by your divine guidance and your inner compass and things like that. But I feel like sometimes also people notice that you could seem a little bit kind of like confused in making a choice. Okay? Because she's like, all these fish are beautiful, which one do I pick? And for some reason, I keep looking at this one. It's almost like, oh, the other ones are really beautiful and they're whatever, but I kind of like the shark. And it's almost like saying, it's like, I really like, you know, I have so many options, but why am I drawn to the one that seems the most dangerous to me or for me or whatever? It's almost like the person that you're interested in can feel a little bit more dangerous or be a little bit more out of the box of what or who you're accustomed to dating or seeing, or maybe it's your first time with pursuing someone of the same sex or whatever, that kind of a thing. But there's something really unusual and different about this connection, and it makes you kind of confused. Okay, yeah, look. Then I have the sun. So I feel like that's right on the money for a lot of you who chose our blue pile number 4, our blue smoke. Okay. So again, go after what it is that you desire. You're in a period of like, there's nothing going on right now. I'm just going to say it's dry as a desert, but there's a lot of juice of life. I don't know why I came up with that term, but you're welcome. So there's a lot of great things to be had if you just pursue your solar plexus chakra, and maybe what can help decide that for you as well, and as weird as it sounds, you decide, of course, but I'm using color therapy. You guys know I'm weird, so I'm going to advise you some weird shit, right? Using color therapy such as yellow could really help open that up, getting more sun, getting more within yourself and asking yourself, like in a meditative state, like, what is it that I really want? And then just going for it. This is what I want. And let me not be in my head, or let me not be like putting my life on hold for anything. Life and time waits for no one, especially for our blue pile number 4, right? So I know you're a person of action, and I think it's going to be healthy for you to do. Now, I'm looking at also some symbols here. I don't know. To me, it kind of looks like some vagina here, but that's just my brain. You know, my brain's a little bit warped. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. All right. So if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Also, I'm going to be reading from my little spicy deck, my Casanova Tarot. It's one of my, let's see, I'm always showing the speed up card. And so this is going to be for 18 and over. It's not for the lighthearted. It's a little bit racy, but not the raciest that I have. It's what I can get away on YouTube with sharing. So if that's not for you, you might want to click off at this point in time. I thank you for joining me. Otherwise, stick around for some smut, right? So we want to find out what we notice about you. What we notice about you, these are going to be more physical attributes, things that you probably never dreamed that people notice or think about when they look at you. What do we notice about you? For the blue flame, pile number 4, let's find out. Okay. So we notice, first of all, that in spite of what you may think of yourself, like, I mean, this person is fully dressed, right? He's like, nothing's happening here, but all sorts of stuff is happening up in your head, in your mind, that you don't let other people be privy to. But I feel like some people sense that you could really even seem, let's see, move these out of the way, not this one. You could seem really kind of like traditional or mainstream or whatever, but I think like deep down inside you're not, because you have like all these like fantasies that you want to explore or whatnot. So this is something that we notice from you intuitively. On intuitive level, we don't look at you and think, oh, he's just, you know, got a lot going on in his mind. But we sense that you could really want to get your freak on, basically, and that you almost want like people to unleash that part of you or open up that part of you. I feel like you could be a little bit repressed or a little bit shy in some ways, but you want to experience all of it. And so I think that's what we notice about you intuitively. Okay, what else do we notice about you from a pile blue, pile number 4? Let's find out. So I think we notice that you have a really nice chest. I'm trying to figure out what this guy's doing. He's almost like inspecting you. And so again, this could be like going back to talking about maybe you recouping or recuperating mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. In this card, in a crass manner, I feel like this older person is looking under the covers, just trying to figure out your hardware, if you will, or looking at seeing what is beneath the belt. And so this person's like, maybe you could have feelings of like, well, I'm not well endowed enough, or I'm not attractive enough, or whatever. Some insecurity there, I feel, that's totally unfounded. I think for most people, it's not even like that. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to keep my personal opinions to myself. Well, some of them anyways. What else do we have for the 4? Pile number 4, blue smoke. Let's find out. All right, yeah, so you could feel, I feel like people think that you're a little bit like repressed. Don't express your true self, like what you really desire, what you want. I mean, this person has a mask and he's like really guarded. And so I feel like maybe you think that you might be judged, or I heard the word ridiculed, and I don't even think that's a real thing. I think that maybe something that happened early on in childhood could have made you feel that way, but nobody is looking at you in that way. So there's a lot of like defensive wounds, I feel, with you, a lot of guardedness. Okay, let's just say that. What else do we notice about our blue pile? Let's find out. Look, more masks. More masks, and not willing to really show your face, but kind of being sad about it. Like, I can't even show who I am. I can't even share my thoughts. Again, that repetition, that repressed energy. You keep to yourself and you don't let people really know what's truly underneath. Like, I can't even see what his body shape looks like anymore. So what else do we need to know? What do we notice about you? You're very, very private. Very private. And so maybe you are thinking of unraveling yourself, but little bit by bit, okay? Because doing these lace thingies takes a while, takes a minute. And look at these wands. It reminds me of the 9 of Wands, that defensive pose, that being self-protective. But it could be that you're willing to just reveal yourself little by little as you feel safe, okay? That's for some of you. For others of you, it could be saying that we notice that you like to look, that you enjoy feasting your eyes on things, but you don't want to be seen while you're looking, okay? And so I think there's an element of maybe shyness there, or something like that. What else do we notice about our pile number 4? Let's find out. So we notice that you kind of like come to the edge. He's at the edge of this wall. You come to the edge and you're like looking, but then you don't kind of like do anything about it. I don't even think he's like catcalled her. Not that that's okay. All right, I know we're in cancel the cat calls moments here, but I think that we see that you just kind of walk away from things. You stand to the edge, you look, and then you walk away. It's almost like you change your mind, but it could be a cycle that you go and visit over and over again, right? What else do we notice about our pile number 4? Blue. Let's find out. Yeah, look, you're just taking off. You're still all in your garb. You're like, nope, not going to risk it. Don't know. I like the fact that he has a white horse. I feel like that's just like a lot of pure intention, a lot of nobleness. But this is really all about like self-protection. You're not willing to take any risk. You're taking your cup of emotion. Also, where you're like, nope, not taking a risk. And what you really want is a caring connection. You want someone that can really is willing to put work in with you and for you and to you, and willing to meet you halfway, that they show that they're interested in you, that they're willing to kind of unravel you. I think that that's what it's going to take for you to make an authentic connection, that they're willing to put in work. Look at how she's painstakingly taking the time to lace up her corset or unlace it, whatever. And so it's going to take someone of equal mindset and caliber to roll up their sleeves, put in the work with you to crack your code, in other words, right? What else do we notice about you? I have to say this is one of the more unusual, because this is more like mental, emotional, attributes than physical that I'm getting so far. What else do we notice about you? I think that you're a deep, deep thinker, by the way. Look at his face. He's just like studying, studying, studying. Look, again, with a mask. Again, I'm not going to reveal. I have really good intentions, but I'm not going to reveal anything until I'm sure that this is a good thing, that it's going to work out, that things are steady and sturdy for me, that kind of a thing. What else do we notice about you? Like, I feel like you're a great mystery. A lot of people think they know you, but they don't know you because you're cloaked, like you're kind of a mystery. In order for you to progress and move forward, you would need to reveal more of who you are. Kind of like be willing to take off all the masks, all the kind of like worry about how people see you or whatever the case may be, and just kind of go for it, because otherwise you're just going to be repressed for the rest of your life type thing, right? Or until you reach the next bump. Yep, look at that. Boom. This is me. Now what? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Like, you don't want to go through life and be essentially on your deathbed and not be able to expose completely who you are and see who your real tribe is, and see who really is drawn to you and connected to you. So by keeping all of these clothes on, your cloak, your mask, things like that, you don't allow for the people with the right vibrational energy, vibrational matches to come to you. You're going to draw people of different calibers. It's like owning a gun. You don't know what's going to fit. If you're like, you don't know what kind of ammunition your gun takes. Why did I use that analogy? I don't know. But then you're fumbling around in the dark for all sorts of different different types of ammo that will never fit that type of pistol or whatever, rifle, whatever. So basically that's what I'm saying, is that not allowing your authentic self to be seen can cause you to just really have some regrets, because there's people out there for everybody, and honestly, the more authentic you are, the more we like you. And so we actually notice you fully cloaked, but we want to see all of you. And then her hands are like skeletons. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Let's see. So her hands are skeletal right here, and it's almost saying, it's like we see that you've kind of been doing the same thing over and over again, but not kind of progressing after a certain point. So people can kind of see you in a cycle. And again, we could really like your breasts or your chest. We could like direct eye contact with you. Like I feel like you don't give a lot of people direct eye contact, because that makes you feel vulnerable. That might make you feel naked and exposed. You might have a really small waist that's appealing, or your proportions could be really like attractive if you were but to allow yourself to be seen. I'm not saying get butt naked in front of the world. I'm just saying, like, show more of who you are, I guess, and be more comfortable in your own skin. And don't allow so much time to pass, because time can pass you by and you could live with some regret, and that would really suck. So that was kind of a different reading for you from pile number 4 in blue. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little pick a card read. And again, leave me a comment if you did, or what kind of struck a nerve in you, or even just an emoji. And with that, I will leave you till next time. Namaste.